Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okuru. A federal high court in Lagos has ordered the permanent forfeiture of 7.6 billion naira linked to former Minister of Petroleum Diziani Alison Madueke. It comes weeks after the court ordered an interim forfeiture of the money. The order was given on August 9th and interested parties were given a deadline of August 28 to claim the money with evidence. But apparently no one came forward, leading the judge, Justice Chuka Obiozo, to order a permanent forfeiture to the Nigerian government. Alison Madueke has been in London since President Muhammadu Buhari came to power. She has been linked to several high-profile corruption cases that has left many Nigerians in shock. Still on the former minister, a group led by Nigerian entertainer Charlie Boy is demanding her repatriation from London. The group, which had previously protested for the return of President Muhammadu Buhari, wants the former minister to face trial for corruption here in Nigeria. They converged at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Abuja to drive home their demands. Even though she has been linked to so many corruption cases in the country, Diziani is yet to be formally charged by authorities. Nigeria's annual inflation has slowed for a 6th month in July. Data from the country's Bureau of Statistics shows inflation eased to 16.05%, though the rise in food inflation was the biggest in 8 years. A separate food price index showed inflation rose to 20.28% in July, up from 19.91% recorded in June this year, which is the biggest year-on-year increase since 2009. The NBS says the decline in the headline wage represented, quote, the effects of stabilizing prices in already high food and non-food prices in Nigeria, end of quote. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, is advising President Muhammadu Buhari to stop monitoring comments on social media. It comes days after the government ordered military to start monitoring Nigerians on social media to check hate speeches, anti-government and anti-security informations. Major General John Enenche, who is the Director of Defense Information, says the move became necessary in light of troubling activities and misinformation capable of jeopardizing the unity of the country. However, in an open letter to the president, SERAP says monitoring of social media by the military is neither necessary nor proportionate. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, has a warning for anyone who tries to arrest him. Kanu has been quoted to say he would resist arrest, adding that anyone who tries to arrest him while he remains in the southeast region would not leave the region alive. His statement comes after government announced plans to revoke his bail applications. The government says Kanu has violated his bail conditions. Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State has appealed for financial assistance from the federal government to tackle flood disasters in the state. This comes a day after 2,000 houses in the state were ravaged by flood. The flood has affected more than 10 communities in the state. The government says proactive measures have been put in place to address the sad situation. The Nigerian Police Force has declared the senator representing Bauchi Central Senatorial District, Senator Isa Haman Misal, a deserter. According to the force, Misal, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Navy, is a fugitive because he is still a police officer who abandoned his job since 2010. However, in a swift reaction, Senator Misal dismissed the allegations, insisting he probably retired voluntarily from the force in 2010 and even paid the police 1 month's salary as the law requires. The senator had last Friday accused the police inspector general of pocketing 10 billion naira monthly as payments for special security services rendered by the police force to corporate organizations and very important personalities. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has defended pegging 120 as minimum cutoff marks for university admission. The decision, which was reached at a stakeholders policy meeting in Abuja, has generated a lot of controversy, with many universities rejecting the cutoff mark. But in its defense, JAMB says the cutoff mark is designed to reduce the amount of Nigerians traveling abroad to school. The Nigerian Immigration Service has banned cash payments for passport processing. Its spokesperson Sunday James says this will eliminate corruption at all levels at passport offices nationwide. Comptroller General of the Immigration Service Mohammed Babandede directed that henceforth all payments for passport processing must be done online and through designated banks. No fewer than 1,705 million migrant pilgrims have arrived the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to perform this year's Hajj. The pilgrims are currently in Makkah and Medina before converging at Mina for the journey to Arafat. A statement by the Saudi General Statistics Authority indicates that more than 51,000 personnel from 22 governmental bodies are serving pilgrims around the clock in the holy sites.
Not in my country.
What is wrong with you, man? Saying no. Tell them I drew for more than 1 hour.
Yeah, me. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wo jẹ́ ká lọ jàre ká kúrò nbí báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀ yín. I am assure you 5 minutes. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ni iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun, ò lè jẹun. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun. Workshop mi leléyìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
Well, you cannot base your business on lies. Go down now. It is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. On to business stories now. The Naira is seen trading at 370 against the US dollar as demand for the currency continues to rise. Bureau de change operators across the country say the Apex Bank needs to converge the exchange rate to stabilize the Naira. On the investors' window, the Naira traded at 366 Naira to a US dollar and quoted at 306 on the official market window. Oil markets were mixed on Monday after Tropical Storm Harvey wreaked havoc along the U.S. Gulf Coast. Brent crude was down 12 cents at $52.29 per barrel, while U.S. crude was down at $47.35 per barrel. Hurricane Harvey has crippled Houston and its port and knocked out numerous refineries as well as crude oil production. It's the most powerful hurricane to hit Texas in more than 50 years, killing at least 2 people. United Nations peacekeepers in South Sudan are moving more aggressively to protect civilians caught in the country's 4-year civil war. This year, the UN mission in South Sudan has rescued 8 workers and UN staff during attacks, saved civilians from abduction by armed groups, and pushed past roadblocks to a massacre site. South Sudan was the world's youngest country when it became independent from neighboring Sudan in 2011, following decades of conflict. But the new nation dissolved into a civil war less than 2 years later after President Salva Kiir fired his deputy Riek Machar. French President Emmanuel Macron is hosting a summit with several European and African leaders to curb migrant flows across the Mediterranean Sea. The Paris talks involve leaders from Chad, Niger, and also Libya, which is a major transit country for migrants who risk their lives trying to reach Europe. The leaders of Germany, Italy, and Spain will also attend that crucial meeting. Nigeria has been dealt a huge blow ahead of its 2018 World Cup qualifier against Cameroon. A thigh injury has left Alex Iwobi out of the lineup for that tournament. The Arsenal forward will be replaced by CSKA Aaron Samuel. He had been on a waiting list for the Super Eagles. Now, despite the devastating news, Nigerians say they are optimistic about the chances of the team succeeding against Cameroon.
The only thing that will make them to get results, winning Cameroon or any team that will come before them, is for them to have a teamwork, team spirit. And also from the coach, there should be what we call a motivational kind of talk the player and also encourage them.
Actually, we can still do more better. We should not look what happened against South Africa. That's football. That's just football. Football is game of either lose or winning. But I know what happened the last time about South Africa. It will now give them more experience and encourage what they did. They are wrong totally, but they can still win the match, I believe.
The coach, we need to do something. The players are playing variously they are playing individually in their various clubs. So if they can bring them together, let them play as one family. Let them play together. Not playing as if I know what I want to play. I'm playing with you. That's just the spirit of football. Let the team work for them. That's all.
Nigeria's female basketball team will participate in the 2018 FIBA World Cup as African champions after clinching their third title in Mali. The Tigresses defeated defending champion Senegal 65-48 to qualify for their second World Cup. The last time Nigeria participated was in the 2006 edition held in Brazil. They will represent Africa along with beating finalists Senegal. Former world #1 Maria Sharapova has been handed a tough draw as she prepares for her first Grand Slam in 20 months. Sharapova, who returned from a doping ban in April this year, has been handed a wild card in the 2017 tournament. However, her wild card opened up the possibilities of tough early draws, and her first match doesn't get much tougher. She has been paired alongside world #2 Simon Halep in the first round of the tournament. Well, that's all we have on news now. Thanks for watching. I am Thelma Okuru.